Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Surfers and beach bonfires, just a couple of the natural assets that Huntington Beach has been world famous for. And with us now is the mayor of Huntington Beach, Matthew Harper, to talk about the status of the bonfires and what's going on in the city to celebrate surfing altogether. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. One thing we're really excited about this year is the 100 years of surfing in Huntington Beach. Just about 100 years ago, there was a fellow named Henry Huntington that used to own the red car, and he brought down a fellow named George Freeth 100 years ago to surf next to what was the brand new concrete pier in Huntington Beach that had replaced some of the wooden piers that had fallen off into the Pacific Ocean.
Well, someone had to be first, but I think surfers would have found it anyway because it has a terrific break out there.
Absolutely. It's one of the best around. It's actually one of the most reliable breaks, which is why we have the U.S. Open of Surfing and so many other surf contests here in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, you know, years back you started calling yourself officially Surf City, and deservedly so. So much of what happens in Huntington Beach has to do with it. What's going to go on with the celebration, the 100-year celebration of surfing in Huntington Beach?
Well, you know what? We've got several organizations that are putting on some great events. One of them is George Freeth Day on June 21st, where there's going to be a gala and a special celebration, but there's about 24 other events that people can go to be able to celebrate surfing in Huntington Beach.
Okay, so people can check out the Huntington Beach website to check all those, get the specifics on all of that too.
And one of the great things we have is the Huntington Beach International Museum of Surfing as well, and that's going to be a big part of our celebration.
What about the U.S. Open of Surfing still being held in Huntington Beach?
Yeah, it's going to be coming again, still sponsored by Vans. And the other thing that's great that Vans is doing is they also have a skate park that's going to be opening just next month on the north end of town. And so we'll have both surfing as well as skateboarding in Huntington Beach.
And another really successful, just wrapped up the Surf City USA Marathon.
Oh, it's great. I mean, there were over 20,000 people that you know, just packing the place on Super Bowl Sunday. Starts before dawn, and by the time lunch comes around, you didn't even know it happened.
And you can eat all the buffalo chicken wings you want after that, right? And what
Yes.
a great place to run if you're a runner. You know, getting down to some serious business of a good time, though, the beach bonfires. This has been going back and forth with the AQMD, the South Coast Air Management District. The city of Newport Beach has elected to remove some of its rings, but it's not a done deal yet. What's going on? Bring us up to date for Huntington Beach. What's going to go on
Well,
with
the
the
thing
bonfires?
is, when Newport Beach wanted to remove some of their beach bonfire rings, it triggered the Air Quality Management District getting involved in it. And they started to want to clamp down on all the beach bonfire rings, whether it was in LA or down here in Orange County. And so we've had to defend our beach bonfire rings, which most people think is crazy. But it's been moving along. We got a situation in which only a handful of them are going to be removed from Huntington State Beach, but the real decider is going to be in the state legislature.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, AB 1102 is in the state legislature right now. It actually passed on a vote of 64-0 in the state assembly to carve out those beach bonfire rings from the AQMD's jurisdiction so that they wouldn't have the power to take those away. And so if that passes the Senate and gets the governor's signature, then we'll be able to protect our beach bonfire rings.
But as it stands right now, it sounded like the judge was looking specifically at removing the bonfires in Newport Beach because Huntington Beach has a different situation. They were saying remove the bonfires within 700 feet of homes, and Huntington Beach doesn't have that situation, do you?
Well, we actually do. They're not in Huntington City Beach or Bolsa Chica State Beach, but because of some homes that are just right next to the beach at Newland Street near the power plant, it actually will affect Huntington Beach's fire ring.
How many rings would that affect there?
It could affect probably about 30, but my position is that it shouldn't affect any. We should really make sure we protect our beach bonfire tradition here in
So
Southern
you're just going to
California.
keep up the fight and hope
Yes.
that none of them leave it all. All right, well, cowabunga, dude.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here. And thank you for joining us. I'm Leslie Leyton.